Okay, gang, we're going to get started with rolling our feet today. So you can take a ball, and I'll explain why we're doing ball rolling in a second, but I just want to show like yoga tune-up ball as a great ball or a tennis ball. So let me make sure everything is, yeah, good. Okay. Our focus this week is on walking. And so, I'll talk a little bit about why that is while we're rolling our feet, but just to get you started, we're going to roll longitudinally. So roll this way. And, you're standing on one foot. And I would say as much as possible, you can keep your heel down or some part of the foot that you're rolling on the floor, just for stability. Because a lot of people try to do that without any part of that foot on the floor, and it's just hard to be as effective. So I would recommend just some simple, not too much pressure, longitudinal rolling, first of all, and then you can move into compress and release. And you can take your time with that. Just compress and release throughout the sole of the foot. And we're doing this, a lot of people call this like myofascial release, but if we're releasing anything, it's like fluid. So we're stimulating the cells that produce the slippery fluid that we have between our layers of tissue. And that also, there are the cells within the connective tissue secrete moisture as well, and then they also produce the cells that like to hold on to moisture, things like hyaluronic acid and other proteoglycans. So we're doing something real, but it might not be like releasing the tissue, whatever that means. Although your foot will feel like more mobile, you'll be able to wiggle your toes more and all of that. So the other thing we're doing, okay, if you're still compressing, releasing, maybe moving toward the heel here, the other thing you're doing is sensitizing your foot proprioceptors. So you'll notice a big difference. When we've done one foot, we'll pause and feel the difference between one foot and the other. And you'll notice things like, well, I don't want to script you too much, but you will notice things. Let's just say that. So now let's do something really valuable for the foot, and that is going to be wrapping our toes around the ball and then lifting and spreading the toes. So wrap your toes around the ball and then lift and spread. Wrap, and this is where it really helps to have your heel down on the foot you're working with. So wrap and then lift and spread. And then we're going to grab the ball with the great toe and lift. Grab it with your great toe and lift. And then see if you can grab it with your other four shorter toes and lift. And then grab and lift. And then we'll take the ball and see if you can bend the toe. So go put it into extension. And then you're going to push that great toe down into the ball. This is actually really important thing to practice because it's essentially like getting your great toe to be better at your push off, okay? Because we push off through the great toe in walking. There's always balls that escape when we're doing this.
You got too many balls.
All right, so that's the great toe. And then, any work into the arch of the foot is good. So like wrapping the ball around, or wrap your arch, the inner arch around the ball as best you can. Press into that. And then the outer arch as well. So putting your ankle into inversion and then eversion. Whoops, see? All right, so now let's just pause and feel, okay? So you just close down your eyes and feel the foot that you were just working with, and feel it in relation to the other foot. And there's, you guys, what do you feel?
It's flatter.
It feels bigger, right? Like more surface area or something. Yeah.
More grounded.
More grounded, yes. That's how I feel too. Okay, let's do the other side. Okay, so just again, this is my general order. I usually go longitudinally, then I do compress and release, then I do the toe wrapping, individual great toe wrapping and extension. So this time I'll talk a little bit about proprioception and walking, okay? Because this is really, really important to understand, is that your feet, in order to walk effectively or to just be bipedal effectively, your feet have to be able to provide information to the brain, to your nervous system in general. So when we wear like heavily padded shoes or hard-soled shoes or high-heeled shoes or things that really separate us from the sensory experience of walking and moving the foot and standing on the foot, then you're really cutting off that information pathway to the brain, which would enhance your movement abilities. So, you really need to look at footwear. A lot of people really think that it's important to pad the heels and support the arch and all of that. That is true when your foot is like really collapsing and there's nothing else to be done. But while you're able to strengthen and improve the mobility and the sensitivity of your feet, you should definitely do that first. Okay, if all hope is lost, then sure, use arch supports, use orthotics, things like that. Or you can use those temporarily, but while you're strengthening your feet and regaining your foot ability. Okay, so now the other thing about walking is it's important. It's just, the ultimate human being movement, but of course it has to be done well. So if maybe you're a regular walker, but you haven't really noticed how you're walking, this is a good time to start noticing, especially if you're going to increase how much you walk to 8,000 to 10,000 steps a day, like I suggest in our self-assessment, to try for that. So all those reps, you want them to be doing pretty good, okay? And so you want to walk with your feet straight, like great toes pointed straight ahead. Walk with your head up, eyes on the horizon. You can always glance down just by rolling down your eyes if you need to see where your next step is going to be. But you need to keep your head up, your heart lifted, and you want to have that feeling like you're lifting up from the pubic bone. This is like activation of your superficial front line, your superficial front fascial line. And that really supports our upright posture. It's going to give you a sense of lightness and buoyancy in your walking, and it's way less fatiguing. Also, it gives you this better pelvic position and easier time pushing off through the great toe. So these things really have a cascade effect. You can review the list that I have there in the in your manual that's being built. Okay, so lots of tips around foot mechanics, so do check that out. But for now, I would recommend doing this foot rolling as kind of a nightly practice or before you practice. It will really enhance your ability to single leg balance and all kinds of stay grounded in your practice. So maybe we'll leave it at that for now, and we'll get started with our asana. All right, so let's just stand at the front of the mat. Let's just ground into the great toes and understand the connection you have through the great toe to the inseams of your legs and pelvic floor. So when we stand and ground down and then dial out, you'll notice this quickening in the thighs and the seat, but you'll also feel the inseams of your legs turn on and the arches of your feet lift. So all that comes from this dialing out action that we're doing, this activation of 3 of the full body fascial lines all at the same time. All right, so just from here, just hold and feel a subtle activation. You don't have to turn it on full on unless, of course, you want to, and just explore that. But we'll bring hands in front of the heart. Stand tall, your heart is lifted, your crown is lifted. Maybe the corners of your mouth are lifted. And just feel strong. Feel like you are already here, sending energy through your body, polarizing the charge in your body. And then we'll take the mantra Om one time and embark on our practice together. So nice deep breath in through the nose. Side out your mouth. Inhale. Beautiful. Let's take some pranayama to begin with. So we'll open the feet to about hip width apart. We're going to rise onto the forefoot and drop into the heels, okay? So let's inhale and exhale. So it's good if your body will let you to drop into the heels with a little bit of a jarring motion. Impact forces like this are really important for the body, sense of vibration through the body. That is, enhancing our bone development, our lymph flow, and just the way we send information through the body. What we're doing here is creating a stronger container for prana. We're clearing pathways for energy to move, electrons. 4, 3, 2, and 1. Let's rise up. Ground through your great toes. Really intentionally press the great toe down. Now, if we were to stay here and just press down through the great toe more, you would notice that it's going to make you want to neutralize your pelvic position. And now while we're here, we can also energize through the legs like we're trying to dial them away from each other, or you could think of it like squeezing the heels toward each other in this case. Pull the energy up the inseams. Lift the heart, the crown. And let yourself feel the connection from the toes, through the legs and pelvis, through the core of the body, through to the crown of the head. Breathe. Arms will come down, hands to Namaskar Mudra, and then let's bend the knees. Ground into your great toes again, even stronger, and dial your knees away from each other. Squeeze your heels towards center. Lift the energy into the belly. So the more you press your feet down, the more you'll feel that upward lifting energy coming into the belly. And now while we're here, let's squeeze the feet toward the center of the mat, toward each other. And then we'll reverse that. Keep dialing the feet and knees away from each other, but spread the feet apart. Beautiful. Let's drop the heels and lift the toes and fall forward. Good. Just take a moment to bend and straighten your knees alternately. Your hands do not need to be on the mat. Try to just keep your toes lifting and spreading for now. And then you can root down through the toes. Put your hands on the mat, step yourself back to table pose. Whoa. All right, let's tuck the toes under and come back to our heels. We'll do some more pranayama before we carry on. So keep your toes tucked under. I know this is not comfortable for everybody, so if it's really miserable, just stay in a position you can tolerate and work toward letting all those toes bend, okay? We're all gonna be out of our bottom just a little, hands at shoulder height. Inhale and exhale. Four, 3, 2, and 1. Let's all rise up. Hold your breath in for a moment. And exhale. Untuck the toes. If it's okay in your body, rock back and forth over those toes. Otherwise, you can just point them back and just take a moment there. All right, let's come into table pose now. So hands on the mat, let's spread the fingers wide and root down into the pads of the fingers. Energize through your hands across the wrist into your arms like you're dialing the hands away from each other. Press into the top surfaces of your feet such that you feel a response in the belly. Beautiful. Now we're going to shift the chest out over the hands. Keep pressing down into your feet. Tuck your tail slightly. Keep your belly lifted. And then we'll press back, hips toward the heels. Inhale, let's shift forward, lifting the belly. Exhale, shift back. One more time, shifting forward and shifting back. Now, tuck your toes. Tuck your toes under, shifting forward, press into the toes, and then shift back. Slide your hands forward just a little. Inhale, coming forward, up to you if you want to lift the knees now. And then we'll put them down and shift back. Dial your hands away from each other, shifting forward, pushing into your toes, lift the belly, put the knees down and shift back. Again, forward, press, feel your front body, knees down. Good, let's come back to shoulders out over the hands, push into your toes, lift your belly. Try to energize like your hands are drawing toward your feet. Lift your belly. One more breath here. Knees down, hips shift back. Press into your hands and lift your hips for downward facing dog. Rise to your tippy toes. Look forward, knees hover just above the mat. And then we press up and back. So hands keep dialing away from each other while we do this. Let's rise to the toes. Knees just hover above the mat. Lift and back. Now, as you're reaching back into downward dog each time, try to reach down with your heels. Reach with your heels. Come back to the toes and knees hover. One more time. Shifting forward, knees come to hover. Let's hold it right here. Make sure your knees are right under your hips. Make an adjustment if you need to. Pushing into your toes. Again, I want you to really get this connection where you're pushing into your toes and your belly responds. Know that that is coming through the inseams of your legs, pelvic floor to lower belly. One more breath here. Push into your toes. And then we'll shift up and back to downward facing dog. During this portion here, dial your hands away from each other and keep pressing your hands forward. Now we'll work on one foot at a time. You're going to bend the toes at the root of the toes and bend them as much as your body will allow, and then push down, especially into the great toe. Great. We'll ease up on that one and go to the other one. So make sure you're bending all of your toes. When you see how far they can bend, hold it there, and then push your toe pads into the floor or the mat. Beautiful. And we'll ease up on that. And now we're going to work on our our ankle range, okay? So you're going to go back to the first foot you were working on. Try to sink the heel. Now, what I would recommend is you kind of relax your other leg, even kind of letting it really just almost hang there. And most of the weight goes into the ankle that you're working with. Please still make sure, whether your heel goes all the way down or not, that you're grounding through the great toe and dialing your knee outward. We're doing this so that we center the ankle joint properly, okay? Just reach through your heel as best you can. Now, if your heel isn't quite going down all the way, let's try bending the knee just a little bit. And just hold it there at the very end of your ankle range. Pushing the foot down, dialing out. All right, let's ease up on that and we'll go to the other side. Okay, so you can kind of relax your other leg that you're not working on. We're really focused on one leg at a time here. Let your ankle move into its end range. Your great toe is grounding, your knee is dialing out. You're going to try to reach the heel down. Try to really ground it. Stay like that for as long as you need. And then try it with a bent knee. Just really trying to keep the ankle centered and at its end. All right, let's ease up on that and we'll just pedal it out. Okay, good. Let's take a walk, feet up to the hands. Feet hip width apart. Let's inhale, do some half lift practice, half lift, and then we'll exhale, fold. Inhale, press into the feet, dial out, come to half lift, and then exhale, fold. Again, ground into your great toes, and exhale, fold. Again, inhale, let's rise up, press your feet into the mat, and exhale, fold. Let's hold this one. So observe your feet. Great toes are grounding, knees are dialing away from each other. You should notice that that lifts the arch of the foot. Let's start shifting our body weight back over the heels. Heart is reaching forward, chin is ever so slightly tucked. Reach through the crown of the head. Okay, so make your legs feel really solid, and you can do that by pressing down and dialing out, engaging through pelvic floor and lower belly. Now slide your shoulder blades toward each other, and then lift the arms. Pressing up through the back of the arms and the fingers while you squeeze your shoulder blades toward each other, keeping your heart open, really noticing your head position. Remember that. So just like in all our other asana, we are noticing our head position because it can pull us out of position or it can help us find the sweetest alignment. Same thing with head position as you're walking. You need to have erect head position, eyes on the horizon and looking forward so that the body is in the most fluid, advantageous position for walking. All right, let's press up into the arms just a little bit more. And then we're going to let it all go. Feet can stay wide apart, knees are a little bit bent, and fingers will wrap around the elbows. You'll let your knees press into your upper arms, and then arms are pulling apart from each other. As you press down and dial out, you might decide to see if you're able to lift the tail a little bit more. We just want to find our edges, but be active there, really, really active. One more breath into the circuit, and then we'll release the arms and let it go. Let's take our fingers and walk all the way around to the outside of our right foot, letting the right knee bend and resting the torso against that right thigh as best you can. So we're around to the right side of the foot. And then see if you can straighten your left knee, even just a little bit, okay? You're still pressing into the feet and dialing out. Great toes grounding. All right, let's ease up on that. Walk it around to the outside of the left foot. Upper body rest close to left thigh now. See if you can straighten right knee. And maybe you're just going to ask right now, and nothing happens, but just make the intention. Wonderful, and let's come back to center. Beautiful. Hands to the mat. Step your feet back for table pose. You can have your toes tucked or untucked here. It's totally up to you. Okay, so now let's keep our left leg grounded. We'll take the right leg back. Make sure you're spinning the whole right leg inward and down. Then we'll take the left hand forward, thumb side up. So when we're learning better walking mechanics, a lot of this is about cross-body connection. So you're going to really feel down into your right hand and your left leg and foot. Press down to get this lifting energy in the belly. And then we want to connect the back of the left shoulder to the back of the right hip. Press up with the left arm and up with the right leg. Toes are active, fingers are active. Breath is smooth. Excellent. One more deep one. After this one. And that will be the last one. Big inhale. And exhale. Hand comes down. Knee comes down. Just find your center for a moment. And then press down into the top surface of your right foot. As your left leg goes back, spin the whole left leg inward and down. So if you were to peek under, you would see the great toe is pointing straight down. And then your right hand can come forward, thumb side up. We're pressing into left hand and right leg and foot to get that upward lifting energy in the belly. And then we start to make a very strong connection, literally drawing the right shoulder blade toward the left hip. Lift the right arm, lift the left leg. Smooth out your breath. Bring it into every corner of your body. And then you can take your right hand down, bring your left foot down, tuck your toes, downward facing dog. Let's walk the feet a little closer together. Make your dog a little tiny bit shorter. Stand on your left foot, right foot goes up. Your right leg is going to hug the midline, okay? So you want that right leg spinning inward and down and hugging the midline. Then you're going to push down into your right hand a little bit more. Make a connection between your right hand into the torso of the body, your left foot into the torso of the body, and then you're going to lift your left hand. This connection has to be super strong from right hand to left foot, from left shoulder to right hip. All right, bring your left hand down, bring your right foot down. Just find your center. Stand on your right foot, left foot goes up. Spin it inward and down and hug it to the middle. Then press down really firmly into your left hand. Make a strong connection from your left hand and arm and shoulder, right leg, foot, and then see if you can lift the right hand. Connect super strong across the body. Right shoulder, left hip. And then you can bring your hand down and bring your foot down. Lovely. Walk your feet up to your hands. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, swing your arms back and then forward and up. And hands can come to Namaskar Mudra. Beautiful. Let's be at the front of our mat with feet pretty close together. Energizing your organization and activation. Inhale, arms to the sides and overhead. Exhale, dive your body forward and down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop back up or push-up position. Dial your hands away from each other. Use your toes to shift your body forward. Wonderful, and then bring the knees down. Keep looking forward, heart forward, and slowly bring the body toward the mat, but not all the way down. Press back up. Beautiful. So come about halfway down, and then press back up. Lift your belly. Halfway down. Press back up. As you press up, you're dialing the hands away from each other. That's really important. Inhale. Very good. All right. Let's bring the heart up and hold. Dial the hands away from each other. If you want, you can press into the top surfaces of your feet. Let your knees come away from the mat. Beautiful. Keep lifting the heart, drawing your hands toward your body. And knees come down. We'll tuck the toes and take downward facing dog. Organize your hands. Stand on your left foot, right foot goes up. Then bring the right leg under your body and let the thigh hover close to the torso. Your knee is reaching between your arms. Dial your hands away from each other and lift your thigh into your body. Now firm your left leg. Push into the toes of your left leg. Really good. Let's reach the leg up. Look forward and step it through. Remember, for these kind of actions, Surya Namaskar Asana, it's good to have hands on blocks if you need, okay? If you're having a struggle getting your foot all the way to the front. So let's bring the hands up to the thighs. Ground down into your great toe, knee dials out. And then as you push back into the toes of your left foot, you're gonna feel the leg come alive. If you push back more, you'll probably be able to lift the knee and straighten the leg. So as you're pushing back more, you're gonna squeeze your glutes. So this is strengthening the connection between your push off at your great toe during walking and your ability to extend the hip and actually activate the glutes when you're walking. So a lot of people, they don't have any glute activation when they walk because they're not really extending the hip or pushing through that great toe. So that really propels you forward, and it actually gives your body back energy if you get that rhythm happening. All right, so let's just keep pushing. We're just going to focus on that very simply. And then we'll take the hands to the mat. Step back, downward facing dog. Press into your finger pads and dial the hands away from each other, pressing them forward. Stand on right foot, left foot goes up. Inhale. Look forward, shift your body forward, thigh toward the torso, knees reaching between the elbows. Now really focus on your back foot. Push into the toes. Draw the energy up into the belly. Breathe. Lovely, take the leg back up. And then we're gonna look forward, shift forward, step through, and bring your back knee down. Hands to the thigh. Great toe grounds, knee dials out. Start to push back into the toes of your right foot, waking up the leg. If you want, push straight back and lift the knee. And then really use the toes, especially the great toe, and use your glutes. Squeeze. Keep the breath flowing, keep pressing. It's good to shake. You're just recruiting muscle, that's all that is. All right, hands to the mat. Let's step back. This time we'll step back to upper push-up position. Dial your hands away from each other. Use your toes to shift forward. If you want, this is where your knees can come down, or you can move through chaturanga. Press back, downward facing dog. Allow the breath to flow. You can always choose a different posture as you return to downward facing dog. But if you are in downward facing dog, this is a wonderful time to experience the merging of energies from upper and lower body coming together behind the navel, in front of the spine. Draw your breath in deep, press it into the tissue. Okay, when you feel ready, you can look between the hands, walking, stepping, or hopping to the front of the mat. Extend your spine as you arrive here. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, swing the arms back and then forward and up. And exhale, hands come to Namaskar Mudra. Beautiful. Let's have the feet about hip-width apart, and we'll do some chest thumping pranayama. Inhale and exhale. So here we're letting the knees and hips bend, keeping the knees apart from each other. Our fingers are spread open wide so that we use the arm lines to prevent elbows flailing about. Give your chest a good thump. It's also important to keep your eyes open here. All right, let's go 4, 3, 2, and 1. Hold it in the center. Press down into your feet. Now really feel the triangulation of the body here, grounding into the feet, bringing the energy into the pelvis, up the central channel, through the heart, through the crown. Let's straighten the arms and spin the thumbs back. Breathe. Feel your heart beating. Keep grounding into your feet and dialing the knees away from each other, lifting through the crown. Beautiful. Keep dropping the shoulders, but we're going to bring the hands in and just link the fingers. Drop the shoulders here. Then spin the body toward the right. You're going to ground a little more strongly into your left foot. Dial it out and squeeze the left glutes. And then squeeze your right shoulder blade toward the back of your left hip. Pull your right hand away from your left hand, looking back. Breathe. So again, part of walking mechanics is this rotational action that has to happen through the upper back, the upper half of the back. And that allows for a nice easy arm swing. It also allows for the dissipation of impact forces. This is really, really important. All right, let's turn the head back to the front. We'll come around, we're gonna flip our hands, and then we'll go straight to the other side. Grounding through your right foot now, dial it out and squeeze the right glutes, and then actively draw your left shoulder blade toward your right hip. Pull your left hand away from your right hand. Breathe. Breathe and feel, you know, the cross-body connection. Left shoulder, right hip. Let's bring the head around. Bring the rest of the body around. Good. Inhale, arms reach up. Exhale, let's bring feet together as we fold forward. Inhale, half lift. And then hands to the mat, step or hop back up or push-up position. Dial the hands away from each other. Lower chaturanga, your version. And inhale, downward facing dog. Standing on your left foot. Inhale, right foot goes up. Look forward, step your right foot through. Stay as you are here. Left knee lifted. Check to make sure your feet are on separate tracks. And then press down into your right foot as you dial this right knee out and bring the arms overhead. If you like, you can bring them together, steepling the fingers and then pulling your fingers apart. If that does not feel good in your shoulders, you can always do this with bent elbows so that we get this pulling action. That's what we're after here. So great toes are grounding. Now feel into your back right toe and really push through that toe. Feel where the energy goes when you do that. You should be able to feel it coming all the way into the belly. That's your foot to core connection. Now hold that connection, bring your arms down and take a twist. If you're able to keep your back leg really steady, that will help you balance throughout this twist. So keep pushing into your left toes. Keep that leg fired up. Glutes are strong there. And your right foot is pressing down, knee is dialing out. This is another part that creates stability. And now just go into your breath. Be still, feel. Hands to the mat. Let's step back, downward facing dog. Dial the hands away from each other. Grounding down into the right foot, left foot goes up, inhale. Look forward, exhale, step through. Make sure your feet are on separate tracks. Press down into your left foot and bring the arms up. Lace the fingers, pull the fingers apart. Start to really explore the great toe grounding on your front foot, the knee dialing out, and how this informs the position of your pelvis. And then push into the toes of your right foot, especially the great toe. Inseam becomes active, glutes become more active. Bring that energy into the core of your body, hold your core, and then take it into a twist. Keep pressing out with the left knee up against the back of your right arm. Really straight line into that right leg, into the toes. Breathe. You're building a stronger container for prana here, so clear the path. Create a channel for breathing. Hands to the mat. Once again, we'll step straight back for upper push-up position. Dial hands away from each other. Use your toes to shift forward. If you like, knees can come down or take chaturanga. Downward facing dog. Feel free to do some pedaling in downward facing dog. We're doing lots of things that challenge the feet and the toes. Feel free to give them a little bit of relief. Feel free to take a different posture as well. Part of the practice is just coming to know your edges, which are not the same on every single day. There's a time to challenge your edge, and there's a time, it's a very subtle difference sometimes, when it's time to back away from it. Just temporarily, sometimes you just need to check out for a few breaths. But when you now feel ready, looking forward, walking, stepping, or hopping to the front of your mat as you extend your spine here. And then exhale, fold. Inhale, let's rise up all the way. Reach up through your fingers, look up, lean back, and then bring the hands back to heart center. Let's do some chair breathing now. So have your feet about hip width apart. Take this at your own rate. Inhale and exhale. You can moderate the intensity just simply by bending the knees and hips more or less. Let's all keep our heart up, eyes on the horizon. Four, three, 2, and 1. Let's hold. Now let's really get into our feet. You could lift and spread the toes here and then root them back down very deliberately. Really feel into your great toe. Just for a couple of moments, let's actually grip down into our toe pads and try to shorten the foot. And then just relax the toes a little bit, but just press them down. Just press them down. So there's action there, there's activity there, but you're not making your foot shorter. Hold it there. Let's just drop a little lower here and press the knees out a little bit more. See if you can kind of dome the pelvic floor and lower belly slightly. All right, we're gonna swing the arms back. Inhale, forward and up, and exhale, let it go. Ha. Beautiful. Just becoming so good at cleaning out the body. Beautiful. Pull in what you need, let go of what's no longer relevant. All right, next time we come up, we're gonna hold. Lace the fingers, turn your palms to the sky. Ground into your feet. Toe pads down, dial your knees away from each other. Lift up through the heart, press through your palms, pull your fingers apart. Remember, you can always have bent elbows here, but really do wanna pull. We will tip over to the left side of the mat. Lean this time into your left foot. Make sure that your knee is unlocked. Now connect from your left foot, hip, through to your right shoulder, arm and hand. Pulling your right hand away from your left hand. Take your right foot, step it across in front. Now you'll ground down into both feet, and even here, it's like you're trying to spin the knees away from each other. Intend your right hip toward the right. Push through your right palm. Breathe. Let's rise up, uncross. Float the arms down, shrug it out, and we'll return back. Hands up. Press the palms, pull your fingers apart. Just get as tall as you can, dial out through the legs, and then we'll tip over toward the right side. This time we're pushing down into the right foot, connecting right leg and hip into left shoulder and arm. Then we'll step the foot across, left foot across. Press into both feet and dial your knees away from each other. You should feel your seat squeezing, okay? And then you're gonna take your left hip to the left. Push into the heel of your left hand. Breathe. This is a great place to press the breath into the tissue. Press it in. Let's rise up. Uncross the legs. And let's bring the arms down. Shake that out. Hands in Namaskar Mudra. Inhale, reach. Exhale, dive your body forward and down. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, hands to the mat, step or hop back, upper push-up position. Dial the hands away from each and lower. Inhale, lift the heart. Exhale, downward facing dog. Now, this is where you just might want to have blocks under your hands because we're going to do a whole bunch of stepping through and rising up. We'll begin by standing on the left foot, raising the right leg up. Inhale. Look forward as you exhale, step your right foot through. Ground down into your great toe, dial the knee out as you inhale and raise the body up. Exhale, hands to the mat or the blocks. Step back, foot to the sky. Inhale. Look forward, exhale, step through. Ground down, rise up. Inhale. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, foot to the sky. Look forward, step through. You're grounding down and dialing out as you rise. Hands to the mat, still dialing out. Foot to the sky. Draw your belly in, shift forward as you step through. Press down, rise up. Hands to the mat. Foot to the sky. Step forward, look forward. Ground down, rise up, and we'll hold it here. Bring your arms to shoulder height. So just like we've done in the other postures, great toe grounds, knee dials out, pushing straight back into the toes of your left foot. Squeeze your glutes. Feel your pelvis. Hold it steady. Turn your torso toward the right. Your left hand is going to want to follow you, so keep reaching back with your left. Squeeze your left hip even more. Your glutes. Nice, let's come back. Inhale, hands rise up. You can bring them together if you want. Stay with me, we're lowering down very slowly. Touch down, push down into your feet. Push into your feet. Tip over slightly to the right. You want to just keep feeling this connection. You're going right, but your left side is really active here. All right, let's come back up to center, hands to the mat. Lift and step back, downward facing dog. Ground into the pads of your fingers. Dial your hands away from each other, press them forward. Standing on right foot, left foot goes up. Inhale. Look forward. Really lift under your body to step through. Great toe grounds, knee dials out as we raise the body up. Great toe grounds, knee dials out as we come down too. That is what steadies you here. Reach. Look forward, step through. Inhale, rise up. This is your practice. Ground down and dial out. Foot to the sky. Look forward, step through. Press down, inhaling as you rise. Exhale, hands to the mat. Inhale, foot to the sky. Exhale, look forward, step through. Press down as you inhale, rise up. Hands to the mat. Foot to the sky. Look forward, step through. Press down, rise up. Hands to the mat. Foot to the sky. Look forward, step through. Press down, rise up, and hold it right here. Bring hands to shoulder height. Feel into your legs now. Great toe grounds, dial out. Press straight back here, feel your pelvis. And then spin your body toward the left. Right hand will want to follow, so keep reaching it back. Pressing into your right toes, squeeze your right glutes. Breathe. Actively, left shoulder reaches to the back of right hip. Look forward, let your body follow. Very slowly, we'll bring the hands up, and very, very slowly, we're bringing the back knee down. Touching down gently, tip to the left. Breathe. Inhale, raise the body up. Exhale, hands to the mat. Stepping back, upper push-up this time. Dial your hands away from each other. Shift forward using your toes. Lower. Inhale. Exhale. Finding downward facing dog. Finding the merging of energies in the area of the solar plexus. Upper and lower body. Conscious mind, subconscious mind. Merging at that area. Breathe. Feeling, sensing the enormous activity within the body. You are giving instructions to your body. You're literally sending electrons through your tissues, which is what heals and adapts the body. Breathe into that. Resource yourself. When you feel ready to, look forward, walk, step, or hop to the front of the mat. Extend your spine as you arrive here. Exhale, folding forward. Inhale, let's rise up all the way. Reach up through fingers, look up, lean back. And exhale, hands come to Namaskar Mudra. Let's have our feet pretty close together. We're going to sit down into Utkatasana. Beautiful. So in Utkatasana, great toes ground and knees dial away from each other, right? We're going to shift the weight into the left foot. Pick your right thigh up and kind of hug this leg into your torso. This is an obvious foot to core connection, great toe grounding, knee dialing out. This is less obvious. Really pull this into yourself. Now taking your right foot straight back, hug the torso, pubic bone to breastbone. Your great toe points straight down, so that means you're spinning your thigh inward and down. Press down into your floor leg. You can straighten your left knee somewhat. Push back into the heel or the great toe mound of your right foot. Now we're going to bend into the left knee and step your right foot down, turning the foot out slightly, straightening your left knee. Inhale, arms to shoulder height, and let's come into Trikonasana. Now before we really develop this pose, let's bend and straighten a couple of times and make sure we remain with knees unlocked here. And then great toe of your left foot is grounding, your knee is dialing out and you're pressing that left foot forward. Great toe on your right foot is grounding, your knee is dialing out. You can press that foot back or straight down. Reach your hips toward the back of your mat. Feel free to adjust your stance. If you landed in a stance that's a bit short for you or a bit too long, you can adjust that. Remember to just check in where your head is. And remember your head, neck and upper back is going to follow where your gaze is. So I'd look at that window. More. Yeah. Yeah. So good, you guys. Now let's bend into our left knee and just come into Virabhadrasana 2. Great toe grounding, knee dialing out here. Drop in with your pelvis. Check in with your back knee. We don't want a locked knee there, so we're dialing out. There's maybe a micro bend there. Keep pressing out with your front knee. Draw the energy up the inseams to pelvic floor and lower belly. Very beautiful. Now let's bring the hands together in the front. We're going to turn our toes under. Lean into your front leg. Remember, the knee's got to dial out as you do that. Lean into it. Launch yourself off your back foot. And we'll return to Utkatasana. Great. Toes are grounding. Knees are dialing away from each other. Let's just take a moment here. And then we'll prepare to shift the weight into the right foot, grounding through the great toe, knee is dialing out. And then we'll lift. So pick up, we're actually gonna hug this left thigh in close to the body. And just feel, you can feel an obvious connection from great toe through the knee and thigh into the core of the body. But this one you have to really draw it in. Now, once you feel that convergence of energy at the belly, we'll start to send that left leg back. Pushing through the heel or the great toe mound. Spin that leg inward and down. You can start to straighten your right knee. Keep reaching back. You guys are doing great. Now we're going to bend, but press the knee out, find the mat and pivot the foot outward. Straighten your front knee for Trikonasana, and then we'll come down over that front leg. Feel free to adjust your stance. Great toe grounds, knee dials out, and then you push that right foot forward, grounding through the great toe of your left foot as well, and dial the knee out. So you really want to feel the structure of your back body. So even if you feel like, yeah, I'm in the sweet spot right now, see if you can tuck your chin and move the back of your head back just a little. Just feel what that does. Yeah, it's pretty obvious. Now let's just have a wider, cleaner, more clear direction of breath for a couple of rounds of breath. Spread it through your whole body, fingertips to toes. Then we will bend the right knee and tip the body up into Virabhadrasana 2. Again, if you need to adjust your stance a little, please do. Great toe grounds, knee dials out. Drop the pelvis down. Great toe grounds, knee dials out. We are never locking knees. Here I would actually invite you as well to tuck the chin slightly and see what happens if you draw the back of your head back a little bit. You'll find that the back body lights up, and then you also have to really engage between pubic bone and breastbone. Just to sustain that without falling over. Breathe. How wonderful it is to wake up all these little corners, little aspects of your body that you just don't get to experience otherwise. Beautiful. All right, we're going to pivot, looking forward. Shifting your weight into your front foot as you launch yourself off those back toes. Coming back to Utkatasana. Yes, back to Utkatasana. Good. Shift the weight into the left foot now. Pick up your right foot, take it across. Okay, so yeah, this time we're kind of in this figure 4 position. Just try to make your toes as active as possible on this right foot. Press down with your right knee. And then start reaching back with your tail. And let your body come down a little lower if you want. You could even put your your elbows kind of inside the instep of your foot and the knee. And then if you get there, it's good to push your arms into your leg. Beautiful. Let's unhook from there. Push down into the left leg as you come up, and then we'll step the right foot down. Back to Utkatasana. Grounding down into your right leg this time. Great toe grounds, knee dials out. Unweight the left and bring it on. Feel free to settle it in with your hands if you like. Now spread your toes, keep the foot super, super active. Push this knee down. And then you can explore reaching back with the tail a little more, folding over the leg a little more, perhaps. Not totally necessary, it's just an option. Press the back of your arms into the leg, stretching your heart forward. This is better than stretching out your hips. This is what your hips need, is strength. Okay, let's unhook from that, lifting up and slowly returning to Utkatasana. Widen your stance. Ground into your great toes and dial your knees away from each other and start to come down. Stay just out of your bottom, okay? Stay just out of your bottom. Press down into your feet, dial your knees away from each other, and see if you can draw the energy up into pelvic floor and lower belly. Wonderful, let's come up slowly. Press your knees out, coming up for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1.5, 1 1/4, 1 1/8, 1 and 0. Great. Let's bring the feet towards center. I'm losing my pants here. Standing on the left foot, right thigh comes up. Take your left hand, put it to the outer aspect of your right knee, and push the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee. This is going to make you want to reach back with your right shoulder. Remember your standing leg, great toe grounds, knee dials out. And then we're making this super strong connection from back of right shoulder to back of left hip. Beautiful. Let's return the right hand to the hip, left hand to the hip, face forward, and step down. Grounding down into the right foot now. Let's pick up the left thigh. Just give yourself a moment to, get stable. It's great toe grounds, knee dials out, get tall on your hip, heart lifted. Then we'll take the right hand to the outer aspect of the knee and push the knee into the hand and the hand into the knee. That action is going to make you want to draw your left shoulder back. You can reach back, you can look back. You're making a strong connection from back of left shoulder blade to back of right hip. Obvious connection between front of right shoulder, front of left hip. All right, let's bring the hand and hand to hips, looking forward and stepping down. Beautiful. Let's shift the weight into the left foot and just bring the right foot forward as though you're about to take a step. And then we're here for a little bit, okay? Great toe grounding on your standing leg. Dial your knee out, keep getting tall on your hip. As you start to experience some fatigue, just keep getting taller, okay? You will find it in yourself to get taller. Great toe draws toward the knee. Otherwise, you can just let your arms hang. Keep the heart lifted, keep the crown lifted. Again, every time you start feeling like you want to let go or fall out of the balance, get taller. To get taller, you will have to pull into the center and rise up. So that is just good to be aware of that. You have that capability. Breathe. So a lot of people complain that their hips are not open enough. When your hips are tight or not open, if it's not the way you're constructed, like your bone and skeleton, if you are constructed that way, please don't try to argue with it. But if you feel like your hips have gotten tight, that could be an indication of instability. And then working on opening your hips, will just create more instability and weakness. So it's good to do intense healing pose so your brain reestablishes a strong neuromuscular connection, because it needs that information at all these tissues that surround the hip and stabilize the hip. If your nervous system feels like it's in control, it's got the information it needs, it knows it can stabilize you, then your hips won't need to feel so tight. All right, we're gonna switch. If you're doing that at home, I would recommend setting a timer and trying maybe for 2 minutes to begin, working toward 3 minutes. Ultimate goal, if you want to be a complete rock star, would be 5 minutes. 5 minutes of pretty intense suffering. So it's really a great spiritual practice. So just notice what wants to kind of give out in your body. Notice the thoughts that come. I forgive you. And we're going to do some things after this that will probably make you realize that, oh, after doing that, I actually feel more open. Isn't that interesting? I do something really that requires, a lot of effort, a lot of contraction, but afterwards, there's freedom. Just try and stay with your breath. It'll be over soon. Lift the heart, lift the crown. All right, let's bring the foot to the floor and just shake that off. Now, once again, we're going to widen our stance. And we're going to bring ourselves down into our lowest version of our squat, our own particular squat. We're working on getting great toes pointed more straight ahead over time. And this has to do with really restoring your ankle joint centration, really getting the talus, which is sitting under your long bones right in here, really in the center where it's supposed to be, and getting all your muscles, tendons, and ligaments to support it in that optimal position. So if you're really close to your bottom here, just press out of it 1 millimeter, push into your feet, and really try to get some engagement through pelvic floor. Really, really good. Let's sit back. Beautiful. Good. Always the time goes too fast. Let's go into Navasana. Great toe edges pressed together. Pull it into the torso and then lift the heart, shoulders back. Beautiful. Let's bring our feet down. Walk our hands back behind us, fingertips toward the seat. Press down into your fingers and dial the hands away from each other. Press down into your feet and dial them away from each other. When you feel like your active upper and lower body, then engage and lift. Pushing down into your feet and into your hands. Once you're up here, you can really squeeze your seat. press. Hips come down, feet float up, Navasana. Now I'm going to give you the option. You can do that same inverted table we just did again, or you can try with me, straightening the legs, coming back onto your forearms, pressing down into hands, and start to press down into your feet until you really feel the back of your legs wake up. Okay, if you're really feeling that, then you can squeeze your seat and lift. Really squeeze your seat. Enjoy the shaking. And then we'll bring the seat down. We'll bring the legs up. Feel free to make your legs straight this time or keep them bent, totally fine. Heart lifting. Breathe. One more deep one. And then let's bend the knees, plant the feet, and then walk your feet out. Let's raise the arms up. Okay, so we're not going to fold forward. We're going to sit up. Thumbs are pressing back until you feel the upper back is active. Now press down into your left heel. Pull your right toes toward your right knee and see about picking up your right leg. And let's put it down. Dig down. Pull your left toes towards your left knee. And bring it down. Bring palms together, shoulders relax. Great toe edges together. Spill your body back. And let the feet float up. One more big breath here. Good, and then pull your knees in and see about launching yourself forward. And I'm going to give you a few times to practice that. Launch yourself forward. Feel free to use momentum. Feel free to use your hands a bit. Great. Let's finish on our feet. Hands in Namaskar Mudra. Eyes closed. Breathe. See if you can settle into a posture so that you're comfortable, you're steady, you're slightly activated, your heart and crown are rising. And then just for about 5 breaths, you're going to just stop fidgeting. Just allow yourself to feel, breathe. Be still. We're going to take 3 rounds of Brahmari breath. So we're going to put our left hand over our heart, back of the right hand at the forehead. So this will be in and out through the nose, making a humming sound in the throat and the roof of the mouth. Tongue can be behind the teeth and against the roof of the mouth. So again, it's not a competitive breath. It doesn't have to be super long. Keep it relaxed. Just be really present in your own body and feeling this signature vibration that is all yours. So nice deep breath in through the nose. Keep eyes closed. Hands can just be by your side. Let them hang from the shoulders. And then as you feel ready, you're just going to bring yourself down to the mat and come into Shavasana posture, just as you are. Make yourself comfortable. So let yourself just feel the breath and the vibration in your body. Feeling through the sensory experience into something beyond. I'll call you back when it's time. remain as still and relaxed as you can. And I'm going to say some lines. And if you want, say them with me. So I'm saying them as you. And these are just I am statements that are just very powerful. So just, again, if you're willing, just allow this to wash through you and just really own it. Okay, I'm going to say it 3 times. I am at peace. My heart is open. I am awake to the light of my own true nature. I am healed. I am a source of healing for all beings. I am at peace. My heart is open. I am awake to the light of my own true nature. I am healed. I am a source of healing for all beings. I am at peace. My heart is open. I am awake to the light of my own true nature. I am healed. I am a source of healing for all beings. Feel. When you feel ready, you can gently awaken your body, bringing some movement back into body, reaching through fingers and toes, just like you're waking up for the first time. Rolling to your right side perhaps, or coming up in any other way that you want, and just eventually back to your seat where we'll meet together one more time. Part of moving with freedom in your life is just knowing who you are, knowing your own power, and really claiming that birthright. So this is why I think it's so important to sit tall and proud with your heart lifted and your crown lifted. It's not egoic. My own Indian yoga teacher would say, proud yourself. This is important. Let yourself feel proud of yourself. You're here, you're on your path. And now let's send some love out into the world. Let's bring our hands in front of our hearts and we'll take the mantra Om and Shanti, 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 sending out a wish, a prayer, an intention for peace, loving kindness, and forgiveness. And let this be constantly occurring within each of us and spreading to those around us and then to people everywhere. Let's take a nice deep breath in through the nose. Sigh it out your mouth. Inhale. Shanti, Shanti, Shanti. Thank you so much for practicing, everyone. Namaste. Namaste to your neighbors. Namaste.
We should organize that.
What's that? Oh. Thanks. Any questions today? You have a question?
I just want to understand the applicability of dialing the knees out when I'm doing things like standing in line up at the bank or Safeway. I found myself the other day in this lineup and I thought, am I supposed to be dialing my knees out? I didn't know if that was the proper.
So the question is, can you be dialing your knees out in the lineup when you're crouching in your garden? Yeah, all the time.
Okay.
I mean, you don't need much activation to just stand in line.
Right.
But it's fun to just turn it off and on and like to explore it. Like just so, the more you repeat a pattern like that, the more it just becomes, switched on in how you move.
Yeah,
And the less you think about it. Yeah, and like doing dishes and just like, there's just, it's so grounding, like just to press into your feet, So yeah, there's nothing but good that comes of that. Yeah.